Well, look, there's a big false narrative out there about what ICE is doing. I read it in the paper every day, and it's a false story. Because I look at the numbers every day. So looking at everybody we've arrested since January 20th, 70% of those we arrest, 70, are criminal aliens. Who are the other 30%? The other 30% are national security threats.
Donald Trump is setting off a firestorm among the Democrats by promising to go into Chicago and clean up the illegal immigration and possibly the crime problem as well. And of course, he sent out this tweet: "I love the smell of deportations in the morning. Chicago is about to find out why it's called the Department of War." And attached is a lovely picture, Chipocalypse now. All right, so this is what we have coming down the pipe. But people like Jake Tapper just can't seem to wrap their head around why in the world would Donald Trump want to go into a city like Chicago and clean it up. And of course, this will have to be explained to him by Tom Homan in his usual no-nonsense fashion. But before we get to this clip, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this video so we can break through the algorithms. Here we go.
Trump's post, he wrote, quote, "The President of the United States is threatening to go to war within an American city. This is not a joke. This is not normal. Donald Trump isn't a strong man. He's a scared man. Illinois won't be intimidated by a wannabe dictator," unquote. Is President Trump planning to go to war in Chicago?
Look, I think it's worth being taken out of context. If I say we're going to war with the criminal cartels. We're going to war with illegal aliens, public safety threats that rape children, that rape citizens, that committed armed robberies, that distribute narcotics that kill Americans. We're at war with the criminal cartels, and Governor Pritzker protects criminal, illegal alien, public safety threats every day in that state, along with Mayor Johnson. We proved that. The first week of the administration, I went to Chicago. I started an operation there. The first day, we arrested 9 sexual predators, most of them child rapists. We arrested 9 members of TDA. Several of those TDA members had a pistol, an illegal pistol with a switch on it, which makes that pistol fully automatic. We arrested 2 illegal aliens that had a homicide conviction. That was the first day in Chicago. So, you know, President Trump and this administration, yeah, we're at war with the criminal cartels and those who want to murder and rape the American citizens. You're damn right.
So maybe it should say criminal aliens in Chicago are about to find out why it's called the Department of War, not Chicago itself. But let me ask you, we keep hearing the president's going to send National Guard troops into Chicago. It has not yet happened. Help clear this up for me. Is the president talking about sending National Guard troops and other federal troops into Chicago to handle deportations or to handle violent criminals, or both, like you just referred to, violent criminals who are in this country illegally? What is the operation going to look like? Will it happen this week?
Look, National Guard are always on the table. We use them in Los Angeles, and we use them in Washington, D.C. They're a force multiplier. Now, do they arrest illegal aliens? No. They're ICE officers, Border Patrol agents who have Title VIII authority arrest illegal criminal aliens. But the National Guard does provide protection for us. It does provide us infrastructure, provides us transportation, provides us additional processing capability that allows the ones who immigration authority, the badge and guns on the street, to continue arresting the bad guy. So yeah, they're a force multiplier and they're on the table. I mean, they've been used by every administration since I've been working for the government. It started in 1984. Every administration's used the Guard and the military on the border, and they've been very beneficial. Look at the crime change in Washington, D.C. Look what they're able to do in Los Angeles. I was in Los Angeles when that all started. We were serving criminal warrants on money fraud, tax evasion, money laundering, and cartel funding. We were serving criminal search warrants, and all hell broke loose because the left said we're doing immigration raids and just arresting people that look different from us. And for 2 days, ICE agents were under extreme threat. We're being attacked. The facilities were being attacked. Thank God President Trump called the National Guard in to bring peace. So National Guard is beneficial.
So should we expect action in Chicago this week?
Absolutely. You can expect action in most sanctuary cities across the country. President Trump's prioritized sanctuary cities because sanctuary cities knowingly release illegal alien public safety threats to the streets every day. That's where the problem is. We don't have that problem in Florida, where every sheriff and chief works for us, right? Or Texas. So we got to send additional resources to the problem areas, which are sanctuary cities.
Governor Pritzker says Illinois has not received any notification about any enforcement action from the White House. Will you be coordinating with them about an operation of this size in Chicago?
Governor Pritzker's been notified from day one. Again, I went there and started an operation right after the inauguration. ICE agents have been flooding the zone in Chicago for a while now. So he's aware of what's going on. I mean, he knows we've been there. We were there last week. We were there the week before. Now, again, we're going to send additional resources to all sanctuary cities, but this isn't new to him. He knows we've been there, and he's failed to work with us. The Mayor Johnson has failed to work with us. Again, to this day, a significant public safety threat gets locked into a jail in Illinois, in Chicago, Cook County Jail, one of the most target-rich environments for criminal illegal aliens. And we drop a detainer and say, hey, this guy's illegally in the United States. You have custody of him. When you're done with him, call us and we'll come and get him. Let us deal with our enforcing our law. And they simply ignore it and release him to the streets. And what happens then, when you release a public safety threat back into the public, it makes the community unsafe. It makes it unsafe for our agents, have to go into the community and try to find somebody. Now in his turf, we has access to who knows what weapons. It makes it unsafe for the illegal alien because anything can happen on a street arrest. Give us the public safety threat and the safety and security of a county jail. Makes it safer for everybody. But they refuse to do that.
How many National Guard troops will be sent into Chicago this week, if that's what's happening this week?
That's law enforcement sensitive information. I'm not going to tell you that.
I love the way Jake Tapper starts off the interview. Is Donald Trump going to war with the people of Chicago? And Tom Homan calmly says, with the illegal immigrant gangs, 100% absolutely. These are the worst people out there. And he describes the crimes in detail. These are not people seeking a better life. These are not people trying to give back to their community and improve themselves. These are people out there committing crimes against minors. And yet, of course, the Democrats are still going to fight for every single one of them to stay in this country. Okay, now, of course, on the question of the National Guard. Why in the world would you need the National Guard to be called in? Because it was proven in Los Angeles that you actually had to have them there to protect the ICE agents. Because as soon as it was displayed that the ICE agents were going around and rounding up criminals, the story was then twisted that, oh, ICE is actually going to neighborhoods and rounding up random people that just happen to be brown. Okay, and then you have mass protests coming out where people were actually stopping ICE from doing their jobs, in some cases assaulting them in their vehicles, and of course, barring them from entering or leaving their ICE facility. That's why the National Guard was called in. And in the meantime, in Chicago, before we have all of this happening, what's going on? You have the Mayor Brandon Johnson actually coming out and saying, hey, Chicago residents, we have to resist this. And this, of course, sets up the underlying problem we have with all of these sanctuary cities. They refuse to cooperate and enforce federal law. All right, because as Tom Homan says, hey, you have all these people out there who are on record of committing crimes, who have orders for deportation, and now, of course, they're arrested, so they call up the jails and say, hey, Chicago, please let us know when this person's getting out of jail so we can actually deport them. And Chicago's like, no, we want them back in our community. We want them committing more crimes. We want them harming our citizens. That's what J.D. Pritzker is all about. That's what Brandon Johnson is all about. But the Democrats can't seem to wrap their heads around the simple fact that American cities would be a much safer place if these criminals were not in the country. But of course, I've never accused the Democrats of having a modicum of common sense. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and say hi to your mom for me. Do you like t-shirts? Of course you do. And now you can support the channel by buying an Angry Teacher t-shirt designed by me, Angry Teacher. So if you like America, if you like freedom, if you like liberty, then go ahead and click the link in the description where all designs, of course, are 100% mother approved. So enjoy yourself and find something you like today.